All right, welcome everybody. Here we are for some yoga. Let's go ahead and have a seat and get nice and comfortable. And we'll start with a little meditation. Remember, meditating just means that you're kind of focusing on one thing. It could be anything. So what I'd like you to do is think about maybe all the things that you hear. It could be birds outside. Maybe you got a fan going on, your breath. Just try to think of all the things you hear and kind of run through that list in your head as you meditate for about 3 or 4 minutes here. And just kind of keep thinking about all the things that you can hear. It'll really bring you into the present moment. And just working your breath, inhaling for 5 seconds, exhaling for 5 seconds. I'll give you a couple minutes here. And just keep thinking about all the things you hear, running through that list over and over. Another minute. Taking 2 more nice deep breaths, and then we'll open up. Excellent. So go ahead and scoot up here. We're going to start with some of the basics. Curving the back, rolling the spine, and just opening up. We call this dynamic stretching or dynamic warm-ups. Nice and slow. Feel each curve of the vertebrae. And coordinate your body with your movement. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. Other direction. Inhale. Good. Inhale, reach up. Lift the chest. Breathe deep in the belly. Taking some deep breaths there. So the belly has some kind of like a bag that holds everything in here. And sometimes almost like a cling wrap, it can cling to the muscles and whatnot. And what this does is just kind of opens up that inner bag, opening up, taking some deep breath in the belly. Also moving everything around inside there, making some space. Good, let's go ahead and step to the side here. So we've got 1 foot pointed forward, one to the side. I'm gonna reach down and then reach up. And on this triangle, you're gonna wanna reach straight up and then open up, rather than reaching up and over. That's a different move. Open up, look back behind you, take a couple breaths. And then we'll do a reverse warrior. This one you're going to reach up and over. Looking at the hand, going up and over. Take 2 deep breaths. So you want to breathe for each of these. Inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Good, and then back to center. We're gonna open up the legs here and just lean forward, inner thigh stretch. Keeping the back super straight so you can feel it more in your inner thighs. Good. And then we'll put this foot forward and this one to the side again. Reaching down, triangle, seated triangle. Looking back at your hand, opening up the chest. One more breath. Good, and then we'll do the reverse warrior, reaching up and over. Take a couple breaths in your side here. Good. And then another basic stretch I always recommend is the back of the leg here. So what you'll do is put the foot out, take a deep breath in, and exhale, keeping the back straight. The more you keep the back straight, the more it'll work the back of the leg. Keep those toes up, back straight to the chest to toes. Good, and then just relax your back and stretch a little further. And grab the toe if you can, or grab the back of the leg, whatever works best for you. Okay, rotate your ankle. So real slow, moving it around. The other direction. And then point it and flex it, pull it back and forth. Good, and then we'll put the other leg out. Deep breath in. Keeping the back straight first. Pull the toes back, chest to toes. Take some nice deep breaths. Relax with your exhales. And then you could relax the back and even grab the toe if you can. Taking a couple nice deep breaths there. Excellent. All right, we'll come back to some more seated stretching at the end here. Some basics that I recommend to do pretty much all the time. Let's go ahead and start with balance work standing, and we'll come up to the balls of the feet. So I'm just going here, up to the balls of the feet. You can do this behind the chair, just in case, because you always end up going forward. If you fall, you'll lose your balance forward. All right. So everybody tends to come to this comfort zone where it's easy. Try to go up just a little further and then take a couple breaths. Good, and that's working your calf muscles here. So we'll put the leg back, bow and arrow stance, stretching the calves, pushing the heel into the ground, bending the front leg, coming to heart center. Take one more breath. Good, and then we're gonna go to downward dog. Stretch the whole body out. Take a couple deep breaths. Good, and then put the other leg forward. Push into the heel, coming to heart center, and then taking a couple more deep breaths. Just kind of lean into it, push the heel into the ground. And relax. Good. The next balance one is going to be a star pose out with the leg. You're going to be here, just balancing. Hold for about 30 seconds or a couple more deep breaths. I'm leaning toward the chair because that's where you'll end up falling toward. Take one more breath. And relax. Good, let's go ahead and switch sides. Make yourself a star. Take a couple deep breaths. One more breath. And relax. Good, roll the hips around. Other direction. Okay, so let's go ahead and do Dancing Warrior today. I'll set my chair to the side here. Dancing Warrior is a little movement phrase that, or a sequence that we do. And it's good because you can coordinate the breath and the body and you flow through it. It could be any 4 movements or 5 or 6 movements, whatever you want, but this is the one that we'll do for today. It's a very common thing in yoga. It's always done differently by different people and stuff. Anyway, we're going to step out with the right leg. I'll show you your feet. You're going to have this one kind of pointed toward the corner of the room. This one's pointed straight out, and then reach up. This is Warrior One. So it also goes through some of the basic poses. Opening up, take some deep breaths in the belly again. One more breath. Good, and then open up to the front. And this is Warrior Two. You're going to gaze past your right fingertips, relax the shoulders, have them about parallel to the floor, pull the head back, and just take some deep breaths. Good, and then we'll go to a triangle. We did this seated. You're going to reach down, and then reach up, and then open up. So the feet, this is bent, slightly bent. This one here is a little bit long. Down, reach up. Feet are pointed one this way and one that way forward. Open up and look back at your hand. Take a couple deep breaths. You could always go shorter or hold on to a chair, whatever you want to do. Good, and then we'll go to a reverse warrior. Just taking some nice long breaths. Excellent. And this is a great way to practice on your own. Go through 4 basic movements and then just kind of put them all together. So now we'll put them all together. You're going to inhale, reach up, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale to triangle. And then exhale, reverse warrior. And then relax. Good. So it gives you a chance to kind of work your breath a little bit too. We're going to flow through it again one more time. Nice and slow. Slow moves along with slow breaths. Exhale here. Inhale, triangle. And exhale, reverse warrior. And then relax. Good. Let's go ahead and just shake it out. We'll do a couple things and then we'll go ahead and do the other side. All right, so let's go ahead and try a chair pose. Sitting back here, and you're going to reach out with both hands. Just to show you from the side, this is a great pose to demonstrate how you should do your squats too. A lot of times when people do squats, they'll go forward with it, just like this. And before long, their knees are so sore and tired, they're done exercising. It's probably one of the biggest reasons people quit. Sit back with it, reach out, that'll counterbalance you a little bit. So you see how my legs are straight up and down. That's what you want. You don't want them to go, knees do not go past your toes. So look at your toes and make sure your knees aren't past your toes. And just take another deep breath. All right, and then feet together. Work the side to side a little bit. Just trying to reach your knees. And then reach up and over. Side angle pose, you're going to reach all the way up and over. Push your hips to that side, hand to the other side. Take a couple deep breaths. Good, other side. Couple deep breaths, breathing in the side here. And relax. Good, let's return to the other side of the dancing warrior. Stepping out. So this foot is kind of toward the corner. This one's facing straight on that way. Lean into it, reach up. Taking some deep breaths. You can always do it the way that you've been taught if you have different ways. Sometimes people might do it like this. It's just a little more active and we like to do it a little more relaxed here. Taking a couple deep breaths. Good. Then you keep your feet exactly where they're at. You just open up to the front, open the hands. Should have a plus symbol with your arms and your body. And then we're going to gaze past the fingertips, try to pull the head back, taking a couple deep breaths. Good. And then we'll go to triangle. Just holding the same stance, actually, reaching down and reaching up. Taking some deep breaths. Opening up the chest. And relax. Good. Reverse warriors next. You're going to straighten this leg and then reach back. You can always have something to hold on to. Just be careful. Taking a couple deep breaths. Excellent. So let's go ahead and flow through it here. Inhale, reach up, take a deep, long breath. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, triangle. And exhale, reverse warrior. Excellent. Go ahead and relax for a moment. And yoga is really more about getting inside of yourself. So you want to try to think about yourself and your movements. So let's go ahead and have you just do this round on your own. And we'll all meet back at reverse warrior. Okay? I'll see you there. Breathe as slow as you can. And relax. Excellent. Let's do some twisting. Just rotate it. We'll bring it out. When you do these twisting, you want to have your toes turned in slightly. You see it's better for the knees. They rotate that way. Rather than having your toes out, you can see it's not so good for the knees. And I even pick my feet up a little. I don't want to grind my knee rotating it. I've had a lot of years of karate doing that. Not always the best thing. Pick your foot up and twist. That's always good too. All right, so let's go ahead and try the airplane pose. So this one is similar to the chair pose. Same thing, you're going to sit back with it, so it really practices that. But this time you have the arms back, lift the chest, and take a couple deep breaths. Don't let those knees go past the toes. One more nice long breath. And relax. Good. I'm going to grab my chair. We're going to go to a downward dog again, and then we'll have a seat. So walk your feet back, stretch it all out, take a couple deep breaths. So basically, you're at a 90 degree with your body, and then you push your hips to the back wall more. Take a couple deep breaths. All right, excellent. Back to center. Go ahead and have a seat and we'll continue with the remainder here. You're gonna put back, you're gonna sit to the side to start with. Let's go back here. Because we want to get this hip flexor, and this is another stretch that you want to do on a constant basis. Otherwise, you end up like this. We're gonna open up. So put the leg back, reach up with the same arm, and then just take some deep breaths. Good, and then come back to center. We'll do a little twisting here. You're gonna act like you're out of breath. And then we'll just twist this way, and you're gonna look back behind you. A little twist. Take a couple breaths. And other side. Just kind of dip that shoulder in, look back behind you. One more breath. Excellent. And then we're gonna face this side. One leg back, reach up. Take some deep breaths. Good, back to center. We're gonna stretch the neck, grab onto the chair and just lean to the side. Let gravity do the work, kind of stretch you out. And other side. Good, and then looking down and act like your head's a pendulum on a clock. Just side to side, not too high up to the shoulders, but just kind of gently swinging side to side. Nice and slow. Good, and then we'll pull the head back and look to the side. You could even give yourself a little extra stretch, just be careful. And other side. And then last, we'll just open and close the hands. So our meditation, let's go ahead and focus on all the things that we feel. That's going to be our next one here. We'll make a fist and then rotate around. One time somebody did this drill with me and they said, I want you to think about all the things you hear. I did that for a little while and then think about all the things that you feel. I did that for a little while, then other direction. And then think of all the things. What was the last one? It's feel, hear, not smell and taste. Open up the hands. So you got feel, hear, and there was one more. Oh, see. Thank you. Things you can see. And so after I did that for a good 5 or 6 minutes, the person was like, well, how do you feel now? And I said, well, I feel very present. And it's funny because that's exactly what they were looking for. Reach up and over. So I find that doing that sort of meditation will make you present. Another thing to remember is fear and anxiety, all that sort of stuff is usually it's either a past or future event. So we're often afraid of the future or think and regret the past, other side, something of that sort, or even fear of the past, right? But anyway, what I'm getting at is that sort of stuff doesn't happen in the present. And so the meditation can be really good to get you out of anything like that. So let's go ahead and do this meditation. And this time, and you could go with things you see, that's fun too. This time I'm going to go with everything I feel. So I feel the breath coming in. I feel myself sitting on my chair, my hands on my lap. And all you do is keep running through that list over and over. Okay? I'll give you a few minutes. Take some nice, long, deep breaths. The only other things you're going to focus on is nice, deep breathing. And you can feel that, so it's easy to focus on and think about all the other things. So just think about all the things you can feel. You might even feel your shoulders relaxing with each exhale. Just keep running through your list. All the things you can feel. Taking just a couple more deep breaths now, and then we'll close up. Good. Open your eyes, come into heart center. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Namaste. Thanks for all joining me once again. I encourage you to maybe use that exercise for sleeping as well. If you can't fall asleep, oftentimes because we're thinking about all this stuff. So think about what you feel, what you can see, and all that sort of things. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.